Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We're in Mishna Rosh Hashanah, Parak Beis, Chapter 2, Mishnah Tes, Mishnah 9. This is a continuation from yesterday's Mishnah. Yesterday's Mishnah concluded with a story where Rabbi Gamliel accepted the witnesses to establish the new month on the 30th day, and the other sages had disagreed. And Rabbi Yeshua got up and said that he agreed with those who disagreed with Rabbi Gamliel, meaning he publicly disagreed with Rabbi Gamliel that actually the 30th day was not Rosh Chodesh, it was the 31st day that was Rosh Chodesh, and this had tremendous ramifications, because guess which month they were arguing about? No, Tishrei. This all happened around the month of Tishrei. So the question is, did the month of Tishrei start a day earlier or a day later? That makes a very big difference about something. It's called Yom Kippur and other Yom Tovim, right? According to Rabbi Gamliel, Yom Kippur is a day earlier than those who disagree with him. And it was quite apparent, that the sages who disagreed were not holding by acquiescing. And it was going to come out, you were going to have some people, and people were going to follow them. You're going to have some people keeping Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur one day, you're going to have people keeping it another day. That's not very healthy. So we have to understand Rabbi Gamliel, who was the one who said that 30th day of Elul was already really the first day of Tishrei. He was the Nasi. He was the head of the Sanhedrin. He was the one in charge, which really meant that he had the fullest authority here. Sholach Rabbi Gamliel. So Rabbi Gamliel sent a message to Rabbi Yeshua. And they point out the message was sent to Rabbi Yeshua specifically, and not to the original sage who argued. The original sage who argued, he's going to come back into the picture. His name is Rabbi Doisa ben Harkinas. He's the one who said, can't be. Rabbi Yeshua said, I agree. Rabbi Yeshua was the Av Bezdin. Rabbi Yeshua was the second in command. He was the one right under Rabbi Gamliel. So if he argued Rabbi Gamliel, people were going to follow him too. And therefore, there was a problem of a split in the Jewish people. Therefore, Shalach Rabbi Gamliel, and Gamliel sent Rabbi Yeshua the following message. Kaizrani Alecha, I decree upon you, Shatavai Etzli, that you should come to me, B'makelcha, with your staff, B'maisecha, and with your money pouch, B'yayim HaKippurim, on Yom Kippur, Shechaliyas B'cheshboncha, on the day of Yom Kippur that comes according to your calculation. According to your calculation, the day after I say it's Yom Kippur, you're saying is Yom Kippur. Well, I decree upon you that you come to me on Yom Kippur with your walking stick, with your money pouch, as if because it's a weekday, and you're going to show everyone that you accept what I did, what I said, that it's a weekday. Now, halach, what's the matter?
That would be the day after Yom Kippur, according to Rabbi Gamliel.
The day after, Rabbi Shua's Yom Kippur will be the day after Rabbi Gamliel's Yom Kippur. Right. Rabbi Gamliel wants him to come that day, the day after Rabbi Gamliel's Yom Kippur.
Rabbi Shua is going to keep Yom Kippur at all that year?
He was gonna.
He's going to keep to his own accounting.
Yeah.
He's not going to keep it the day before like Rabbi Gamliel. He's going to wait till the next day.
Therefore,
the show of his coming on a regular weekday after Yom Kippur is not going to avert a split in the opinion. It's going to come after the fact.
Well, he was trying to avoid that. But why is he making it? He can't make him come on the day of Yom Kippur.
No, I understand.
He can't make him come on the day of Yom Kippur. It makes him come on that day.
That message is coming.
Put your objections aside.
I understand. You're asking. The point is that you're saying the point is that, if Yeshua not keeping the first day, you got people not keeping. The thing is, I think people not keeping may be more private, right? They're home. Don't forget Yom Kippur was celebrated differently than it is now. And it could very well be that maybe there were people who didn't do, I'm wondering, according to Yeshua, yeah? Did he keep both days? Did he keep one day? Practically speaking, what would Rabbi Yeshua have done? Would he have done both days or just his day? But at the end of the day, you're making a good point. But this is what he wanted him to do, to show that his day, publicly show that his day was not Yom Kippur. So Halachim Etzai Rabbi Akiva Meitza. Rabbi Akiva found Rabbi Yeshua in distress, and he was very troubled. Omar Loi, Rabbi Akiva said to him, Yeshi Lilmaid Komash Asra Megamliel Asai. I can show you, I can teach you that whatever Megamliel does is done. Which means even if you hold Rabbi Gamliel is mistaken, at the end of the day, his decision is the decision. Shenamar, as it says, Eila Moyadei Hashem, these are the festivals of Hashem, Mikrei Kodesh, holy gatherings, Asher Tikru Oisam, that you shall declare them. So that last phrase, you shall declare them, means it's up to your declaration, which means it's up to the Beis Din, it's up to the highest rabbinical court's decision, which teaches us, Bein Bizmanan, Bein Shalei Bizmanan, whether it's in the proper time, whether it's not in the proper time, and even if they're mistaken, Hashem says, these are my festivals. Even if they're mistaken, these are my festivals. And therefore, Rabbi Akiva is telling him, look, if Rabbi Gamliel decided it, and it is his power to decide it, then that's the final decision. So then Rabbi Yeshua went to Rabbi Deisa ben Harkinas, which was the person who initially argued on Rabbi Akiva. He's the one who got up, on Rabbi Gamliel. He's the one who got up and said to Rabbi Gamliel, it can't be what you're saying. It can't be what these witnesses are saying are true. Rabbi Yeshua then agreed to him. So he went to Rabbi Deisa ben Harkinas. Omar Aloi, Rabbi Deisa ben Harkinas said to him the following. And again, Rabbi Deisa ben Harkinas was really trying to, appease Rabbi Yeshua and tell him that this is the right, that at the end of the day, this is the right thing to do. So Omar Aloi, Rabbi Deisa ben Harkinas said to him, if we're going to start questioning the Beis Din of Rabbi Gamliel, which means if you're going to start questioning and saying that you don't have to listen because they're errant, they're making a mistake, and so to speak, and we've got it right. We're going to have to start challenging or questioning any Beis Din that ever was from the days until Moshe until now. As it states, Vayal Moshe va'Aaron Nadav v'Avihu v'shivim miziknei Yisrael. Moshe, Aaron, Nadav, and Avihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel went up. Okay, now we have a couple of names. We have Moshe, we have Aaron, we have Nadav and Avihu, and everybody else says the 70. We don't know who they are. Why weren't the names of these elders actually explicitly mentioned? Why don't we have their names? It's to teach us. Any three people that are established as judges of upon the Jewish people, they are to be considered like the Beis Din of Moshe. Meaning the fact that we went anonymous on their names is really meant to say, the way First Yisrael explains is, basically, if we would have gone through their names, let's say we would have listed all 70, right? 70 names. What order would the names have been in? They would have been the names of greatness. That's what would have been. The order would have been the names of greatness. Mm-hmm. Okay, which would have meant that you look at the pasuk and it says Shmaria is in the first pasuk and then Tuvia is in the second pasuk. Well, and Tuvia is after him. That means Shmaria is better than Tuvia, right? So the same way that the Torah is gonna be listing them in greatness, people are gonna say, they're gonna look at a Beis Din and say, Chaim the Dayan. He's like Shmari. He's the upper one, right? And Moshe the Dayan, he's fifth because that's where he belongs. If the Torah starts talking, saying names and basically saying who's greater, people are going to follow the same, and they're also going to start saying in their Beis Din who's greater, who's less. But the Torah wants us, by the Torah not doing that, the Torah making them all even. The Torah is saying they are all valid judges. They are all valid. You cannot dismiss any of them by saying one is greater than the other. They're all valid. And therefore, Rabbi Deisa ben Harkinas was saying to Rabbi Yeshua, you can't challenge Rabbi Gamliel. You cannot challenge him like that. Because at the end of the day, he's no different than any other judge. He is the judge. He had the right to make the judgment, and that judgment has to be respected. So what's the conclusion of the story? Natal makloi ma'isa b'yadai. Rabbi Yeshua took his staff and his money in his hand. And he went to Yavne by Rabbi Gamliel on the day the Yom Kippur fell out on his calculation. It's very interesting. They were not in the same place. Okay. Rabbi Gamliel was in Yavne, and it says he went to Yavne. That means he wasn't in Yavne, at least at that point of the month. Ahmed Rabbi Gamliel and Neshakai al Reishai, Rabbi Gamliel got up and kissed him on his head. He said to him, B'ay b'shalom, come in peace. Rabbi, my teacher, my master, v'talmidin, my student. Rabbi b'chachma, you are my master in wisdom. which means he was saying to Rabbi Yeshua, essentially, you're wiser than me. The Talmidi shekabalta devari, but you're my student and you accepted my words. So therefore, at the end, Rabbi Yeshua followed what he realized this is the right thing to do. Rabbi Gamliel recognized it. Rabbi Gamliel didn't just put him down. Rabbi Gamliel respected him and honored him for it. And at the end, when it was Rabbi Gamliel who was the head of the Sanhedrin, it was his decision to make and his decision to follow. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you, Rabbi.
I mean, I would add that there probably, I'm just going to assume that there was, anytime there's a question in Sanhedrin, right, there's a vote. In the sense of, what do you hear? What do you hold? So I'm going to assume that there was a majority that followed Rabbi Gamliel, what he said. The question is those who wanted to still, because they disagreed strongly, wanted to go in and do things differently. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rabbi.